So this year, Pokemon fans have been eating pretty good. I mean, in January, we got the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus. In July, up to now, the TCG has been going off. And Pokemon Go has been updating like crazy with Pokemon from newer generations and the introduction of Ultra Beasts. However, there was one game this year that everyone was waiting for and couldn't wait to digest despite the previous entries. That game being Digimon Wait, what? Is this the wrong script? Who even likes Digimon? That shit is complete trash. I'm gonna go wash my mouth just for fucking saying those words. God, I'll be right back. God, I just don't fucking understand. Like, who could even want to play Digimon ever in their life? Ah yes, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Pokemon games we have been dreaming of for such a long time. I mean, I'm no doctor, but my blood pressure when seeing the trailer of these games could not have been healthy. So now that we have them, what do I think? Okie dokie, so first things first, if you're watching this review in hopes of finding out whether you should buy this game or not, the answer is yes, do it now. Although, if you're just here to hear my opinion, then thank you. So, these games, although fun and enjoyable, are also epitomes of everything wrong with modern Pokemon in my opinion. Not to say that modern Pokemon is lazy, nor that modern Pokemon doesn't do anything ambitious, because it does. However, these games are prime examples of the However, these games are prime examples of the 2 steps forward, 10 steps back kind of complaint. To really understand that, we're gonna have to look at what this game and previous ones have done that led to a good experience.
The good things.
Number 1 at my good things list is the gameplay loop. Typically in a Pokemon game, the idea is to collect Mons and take on a gym battle while a bunch of crazy shit is going on in the background. Now, these games follow an incredibly similar format, duh, but they spread it apart not only to a nicer pacing, but to the player's own preference. If you get tired of playing classic Pokemon and taking on gyms, then you can just fuck right off and do a Team Star raid, or if you're cool like me, you'll just go and do all the Titan challenges and nothing else just to see Arvin's dream become a reality. My boy. This makes for a world that's incredibly hard to get bored in, because if you're not fighting Titans, you're battling gyms. If you're not battling gyms, you're taking on the evil team, and if you don't want to do any of those, then you don't want to play this fucking game! But you should. Number 2 on my list would be movement. This game has such fun movement when on the back of Koraidon or Miraidon respectively. I expected it to feel clunky like Arceus kinda did, but they control surprisingly smooth. A lot of people complained about this mechanic being tied to the box legendaries, however I think that by having the legendary from the start, it creates more of a bond with the character, instead of being curious as to what kind of god you're going to meet this time. I found myself liking the dog-like nature of these guys and wanting to find out more of their origins, just as much as they seem to. I know that really didn't have anything to do with movement, but I just felt like I needed to get that out there. I really like these legendaries. Anyway, like I said before, the movement of Koraidon or Miraidon is incredible. I found myself a little disappointed in the first few minutes, hours, I don't know, because Koraidon felt very slow and seemingly useless when compared to walking. However, as you progress through the game, you get more options: sprinting, climbing, higher jumps, gliding. It really opened up the world. So basically, moving good equal like game. Now for my third point of the good, is the new Pokemon and the way they interact. Now, this one is a little more subjective, but along with this being the first generation to introduce 100 plus new Pokemon in a while, in my opinion, it's also the first to have Pokemon I love right off the bat. All the designs feel more inspired than ever, ranging from dogs made of dough to bugs that resemble old Super Sentai shows. Each Mon has a ton of character and really feels like they harken back to the older generations of Pokemon when wonder and imagination roamed free. Having no specific guidelines for what makes a Pokemon other than the fact that they are called Pokemon. Wow, I'm saying that word a lot and now it sounds weird. Pokemon. Language is a made-up noise anyway. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into what kind of kills these games for me. These flaws don't ruin the game to the point where I don't want to play them, Lord knows I can't stop playing, but they do leave a sour taste in my mouth that makes me wish for a timeline where these glaring issues were addressed or fixed in a way that made sense.
The bad things.
Number 1 on my list of bad things is Pokeballs and throwing them. In Legends Arceus, the first open zone Pokemon game, the controls for throwing Pokeballs or Pokemon felt good. It was incredibly intuitive and easy to master. On top of that, the way whatever you threw interacted with the world felt great and responsive. The sheer amount of serotonin that would run through my bloodstream whenever I would hit the back of a Pokemon's head was insurmountable.
Yup.
God, it just feels right every time. Also, anytime I needed to throw a berry to distract a bigger, more threatening Pokemon in order to get that backstrike, added a layer of depth that, although not too deep, felt right at home with the quote-unquote dangerous landscape Pokemon created. It was nice to be on the move and stop all forward momentum due to noticing a Pokemon that could easily bite my head off if given the chance. I don't know how many share this opinion, but I think the small things like Pokemon being able to hurt you and KO you, throwing berries, and being able to toss Pokeballs were great. It created a much needed action RPG format that really worked for Legends Arceus. So why, God, did they not bring that back in Scarlet and Violet? Instead, we get this clunky, slow ball throw. Why is it that when I hit the trigger, 3 seconds after, my character will throw the Pokeball? It doesn't feel right. Plus, when I can't ready my aim with a reticle, it makes it feel unresponsive. It doesn't feel right. Plus, berries? Forget those things. Why did you need them? You didn't need to interact with the Pokemon any more than just looking at them, did ya? Also, small side note, but did you know that Pokemon don't keep their aggro in Scarlet and Violet? If you start a battle with a Pokemon and then run away, the Pokemon doesn't keep its aggression after being instigated. Instead, they just fuck off as if nothing ever happened, and that's lame! Number 2 is rendering and performance. Now, anybody who uses the internet can tell you that Scarlet and Violet doesn't run the best. I mean, here's some footage of a child NPC just roaming around. Yeah. If your camera glitches through the wall, that's fine, at least to me. It's just the camera, so whatever. But if the Pokemon themselves are spawning or clipping into the wall, that's a problem. Now, I don't know the development cycle of Scarlet and Violet, but either the devs weren't given enough time, or Game Freak needs to hire some new devs because these current ones are just way too far out of their comfort zone for a project like this. Plus, they could have just outsourced the game to someone like Ilka, who made the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Those guys seem reliable. Why not let them help out? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. This is a AAA title from the largest grossing company in the world, and what? What the fuck? I don't get it. Overall, I'd give these games about a 7 out of 10. I mean, for Pokemon, it's a massive step in the right direction, and if they keep going this way, then hopefully we'll get games in the future that can capitalize on all these missing mechanics. However, in the state that it's in now, I think it could use some work. And with that, I'll leave it be. Thank you for watching this video. And thank you for listening to this last little rant if you did. I appreciate it. And if you're coming from TikTok, thank you so much. You guys have been so incredible with the support, and it's awesome to just to hear your guys' stories in the comments about how you found a shiny because of a small little clip that was in one of the videos I made. It's really awesome. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I will be coming out with more Pokemon content on top of some other video game stuff just because I love video games. But thank you and peace.